Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you may remember, a couple of weeks ago I went along and shot some music, and I brought along this massive medium format camera along with me, as well as my standard digital equipment that I use every time I go and shoot music. I did it purely just as an experiment to see if I could get some cool shots with this camera. I loaded it with a roll of Ilford Delta 3200 speed film. That's possibly why this video has been so delayed, because it's taken so long to get the film back, because the normal place I take my film to go get developed couldn't do it in-house, so they had to post it off to get it developed, and it's taken around about 2 weeks to get it done, and it's cost me a lot more money than I originally anticipated, which has been a bit of a bummer, to be honest. But oh well, we'll skip over that fact. So once I got the images back, I loaded them into the computer, and I realised I'd absolutely just missed focus on every single shot nearly. One or two were okay, but personally I wouldn't use them because they wasn't as tack sharp as I normally like my images to be, so I just scrapped the entire lot. But then I thought I might as well share them with you guys, because a lot of other YouTubers and photographers that have channels about photography or blogs, websites and stuff, I never see them posting much about the failures and stuff that's gone wrong, so I thought I'd do something a bit different. You might not find it interesting, you might find it boring, but I thought it'd be good for people out there that have, even if they're not shooting film, they're just, you know, shooting digital or anything like that, and they've messed up and they've thought, oh, you know, I'm not going to do it anymore, I'm going to give up, or, you know, it might discourage you. So I thought I'd do this video to show you my failings and what I take away from it and what I've learnt, and what I'm going to do in the future to try move forward and not get these issues again and improve my own photography myself. So I'm going to fire the images up on the screen and we'll go through each one and take a look at them. I'll show you the ones that I think are okay-ish, but you know, still I personally wouldn't use them, and then the ones that are just horrendous and just not in focus at all. The exposure was right and the framing was right, it was just the focus, as it was quite, you know, a dark venue. Even though I was using the 3200 speed film, I still had the camera, the lens on the camera stopped down to f2.8. So, you know, it is quite hard to get focus right, especially in like a live music setting where people are, you know, moving about. As I was shooting, I thought, you know, I'd got some good ones as I was going. I thought I'd nailed the focus on some, so I was thinking, you know, 1 or 2 out of 12 I might have got, but out of the 12, personally I think I've buggered them all up. So I'd like to know what you guys think. Please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments. If you've had something similar happen to you before, or if you've had success shooting medium format in a live music situation, I'd love to hear about it. Or if you've got any tricks or tips that you've used that you find has helped, then I'd love to know. So right, let's get into it. We'll go through the images and I'll show you guys what I got. This is one of the first images that I took, and just off the get-go, just horrendous focus here. I can see the tip of the guitar here is in sharp focus, but I've lost everything else in the image, plus the framing isn't that good either, so I just scrap that one off entirely. I don't think that's a very good image at all. Now here, this image, in my opinion, is kind of passable, but again, as I said earlier, it's not an image I would particularly want to use because it is not as crisp focus as the work I normally produce. I mean, it's mainly focused just here on his hands and just here below the microphone, and his face really isn't that sharp, but not too bad of an image. It's well framed, well exposed, just the focus is a little bit off on this one. This one again, I think I took this pretty much straight after the previous image, and the exposure is off completely, in my opinion. Focus again, only slightly off. I think it's quite sharp here on his arm and the guitar, but again, the most important bit, in my opinion, is getting the artist's face, which I just haven't got in this image here. Moving on. See, this would have been a great image again if I'd have got the artist's face in tight focus. I think it's framed well. Exposure's not too bad, but again, as you can see, the focus is mainly around his arm and the top of the guitar, and not on his face at all. Moving on to the next one. Again, I think this would have been an alright shot, and I think it is kind of still usable because his face is only slightly out. Again, we have focused mainly on the top of the guitar here. What I've noticed in some of these shots is when I've been shooting that I think I've had the face in focus, but really the focus has been just slightly in front. So next time when I'm out shooting with this particular camera, I might just push the focus a little further than I think it needs to be to try get the face in sharper focus. Again, this shot, well framed, well exposed, just again the focus seems to be around the bottom of the guitar here and not on the guitarist's face. I think this would have been a great shot if I'd have got the focus right. Again, I think in the future I just need to push the focus a bit further back than I would want to, or that my mind is telling me to do, to get the face in sharper focus. Again, another cool shot, kind of usable I think, because you can still make out some details in the face, but again, mainly it is just focused on the head of the guitar here. Kind of a usable shot, looking at it again, but I would have preferred the face to be in a lot sharper focus. It's just the same issue that I've run into throughout this entire shoot. It is just focusing a bit too far forward. So again, in the future I will probably just try and, you know, go past my better instincts and, you know, focus a little further back. Overall, a good image I think. Again, well exposed, the bits that are in focus are nice and sharp. Moving on again, this is the same guitarist as the images prior. Again, as I said with this whole video, missed the focus entirely, and also I've noticed that the microphone here is kind of just sticking out where his eye would be, and it just looks a bit weird to me. I probably wouldn't have used this image even if I'd have got it in tack sharp focus. Right, moving on to the next one. Again, an image like this could be used because, you know, the most of the guitar is in focus. It could be like an interesting kind of shot, but again, usually when I shoot music I like to get the artist's face in focus. It's just been an ongoing problem every time I've used this camera, just getting the focus right. Maybe it just needs a bit more practice, a bit more trial and error, and eventually I'll get there. As you can see, nice and sharp here, nice and well exposed, crisp, just miss the focus out just a little bit on it. But it's just one of them things, I suppose. You learn from your mistakes, keep trying, don't get discouraged, and you know, your results might be better next time. So just, you know, as I said, don't give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to go maybe shoot some more music with this camera, and you know, I might get better results or I might get the same results, but the important thing is you keep trying. So if you guys want to leave any comments or ask any questions about when I use this camera, how I've used it, or if you've got any interesting stories about your successes and failures using a medium format camera or just film shooting live music, I'd love to hear, and I'll try my best to get back to as many as I can. Yeah, so much appreciated you watching this short video. If there's any videos you guys would like me to make or any discussions you would like to have, please let me know. So I'll see you in a bit. Peace. Bye.